Single dad reunites with his childhood friend after 20 years. She once said, "I'll marry you." Marcus Chen stood at the sleek glass reception desk of Chen Digital Solutions, his tattooed arms resting on the counter as he reviewed the quarterly reports. 20 years of grinding from a broke kid in foster care to owning one of the city's fastest-growing tech firms. The office hummed with the energy of Friday afternoon, his team eager to start their weekend. "Mr. Chen?" His assistant's voice crackled through the intercom. "Your 3 p.m. is here. The new HR consultant." Marcus nodded, not looking up from his tablet. "Conference room 2. I'll be there in 5. He'd been through 3 HR managers in 2 years. Running a company while raising his daughter alone left little time for corporate drama. Emma, his 8-year-old, was his world, but lately, she'd been asking questions about her mother, questions that still cut deep. His ex-wife had left when Emma was 2, deciding motherhood wasn't part of her journey. Marcus grabbed his coffee and headed down the hall, his mind already on the weekend. Emma had a soccer game tomorrow, and he'd promised to take her for ice cream after, just the 2 of them. He pushed open the conference room door and stopped dead. The woman standing by the window turned around and time collapsed. "Hello, Marcus." The coffee cup nearly slipped from his hand. "Sophia." She smiled, that same smile that had made his 12-year-old heart race back in Mrs. Patterson's 7th grade class. But this wasn't the gangly girl with braces, who'd shared her lunch with him when he'd had nothing. This was a woman in a crisp white blouse and pencil skirt, her long brown hair falling past her shoulders, her dark eyes holding the same warmth he remembered. "Surprise," she said softly. Marcus found his voice. "You're the HR consultant?" "Harrison and Associates. I've been with them for 5 years." She moved closer, and he caught the faint scent of jasmine perfume. "I didn't realize this was your company until I saw your name on the contract." "Marcus Chen, CEO, I'm so proud of you." His mind reeled. Sofia Martinez, the only person who'd really seen him during those dark foster care years. They'd been inseparable from 7th grade until the summer before high school, when she'd moved across the country. He'd never forgotten her. "I can't believe you're here," he managed, "after all this time." 20 years, she said, her eyes scanning his face. "You grew up well." "So did you." The understatement of the century. "How long have you been back in town?" 3 months. "I took the position specifically because—" She paused, choosing her words. "I wanted to come home. Los Angeles never felt right." They stood there, the air between them thick with unspoken memories. Marcus remembered their last day together, sitting by the old creek behind the foster home. She'd been crying because her aunt was moving for a job, taking Sophia with her. He'd tried to be brave, tried not to show how devastated he was. "I'll come back," she'd promised through tears. "And when we're grown up, I'll marry you. Marcus Chen, you're the best person I know." He'd kissed her cheek, his first kiss ever, and watched her leave. "Do you remember?" They both started, then laughed. "The creek," Marcus finished. "Of course I remember." Sophia's eyes glistened. "I meant it, you know. Every word." Before Marcus could respond, his phone buzzed. Emma's school. His stomach dropped. "Excuse me," he said, stepping aside. "Hello? Mr. Chen, this is Principal Morrison. Emma's fine, but there was an incident on the playground. Another child made some comments about her not having a mother, and Emma, well, she pushed him. We need you to come in." Marcus closed his eyes. "I'll be there in 20 minutes. He turned back to Sophia, running a hand through his hair. "I'm sorry, I have to go. My daughter." "You have a daughter?" Sophia's face lit up. "Yeah, Emma, she's 8. And right now she's apparently auditioning for the WWE." He grabbed his jacket. "Look, I know we need to discuss the HR situation, but—" "Go," Sophia said immediately. "Family first, always." Something in her tone made him pause. "Sophia, why don't you come with me? We can talk on the way and afterward maybe grab coffee, unless you have plans." She picked up her bag without hesitation. I'd love to meet your daughter. 20 minutes later, they sat in Principal Morrison's office while Emma slouched in a chair, arms crossed, her dark curls falling across her face. She looked so much like her mother in that moment that Marcus's chest ached. "Emma," he said gently, "want to tell me what happened?" "Tyler said I was weird because I don't have a mom," Emma mumbled. "He said that's why nobody wants to play with me. So I pushed him." "Did you hurt him?" "No, but I made him fall in the mud." A hint of satisfaction crossed her face. Marcus suppressed a smile. "That's still not okay, Em. We don't solve problems with pushing." "What was I supposed to do?" "He's been mean for weeks." Sophia, who'd been quiet until now, leaned forward. "Emma, can I tell you something?" Emma looked up, noticing Sophia for the first time. "Who are you?" "My name's Sophia. I'm an old friend of your dad's, and when I was about your age, I didn't have a mom either. She died when I was 6. Emma's eyes widened. "Really?" "Really. And kids said mean things to me too. It hurt a lot." Sophia's voice was gentle but firm. "But you know what I learned? The kids who say those things are usually dealing with their own pain. It doesn't make it right, but understanding that helps." "What did you do when they were mean?" Emma asked. "I found my people. The ones who saw me for me, not for what I didn't have. Your dad was one of those people." Sophia glanced at Marcus. "He shared his lunch with me every day for a whole year because he knew I wasn't eating much at home." "Did he ever tell you that?" Emma shook her head, looking at Marcus with new curiosity. "He was the kindest person I knew," Sophia continued. "And I can tell you're kind too, Emma. Kind people don't need to push. They need to use their words even when it's hard." Emma was quiet for a long moment. "Then, I'm sorry, Principal Morrison. And I'll say sorry to Tyler too. But if he's mean again, I'm going to tell a teacher." "That's my girl," Marcus said, relief flooding through him. After they left the school, Emma between them, Marcus felt something shift. Emma was chattering away to Sophia about her soccer team, her favorite books, her hamster named Sir Fluffington, and Sophia listened with genuine interest, asking questions, laughing at Emma's jokes. "Can Sophia come to my game tomorrow?" Emma asked suddenly. "Please, Dad." Marcus looked at Sophia. "You don't have to." "I'd love to," Sophia said. "If that's okay with you." "More than okay." That evening, after Emma was in bed, Marcus and Sophia sat on his back porch with glasses of wine, finally alone with 2 decades of catching up to do. "She's wonderful," Sophia said. "You're doing an amazing job, Marcus. Most days I feel like I'm barely holding it together. Her mother left when Emma was 2, just decided she didn't want to be a parent anymore." The old anger crept into his voice. "Emma deserves better." "Emma has you. That's everything." "Is it?" "She needs a mother figure, someone who—" Marcus stopped himself. "Sorry, I shouldn't dump this on you." "Marcus." Sophia set down her glass and turned to face him. "Do you remember what you told me the day before I moved?" "I told you a lot of things. You said, Sophia, you're going to do great things because you never give up. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." Her voice thickened. "I went to college because of you. I became an HR consultant because I wanted to help people the way you helped me. Everything good in my life traces back to that skinny kid who shared his lunch and made me feel like I mattered." Marcus felt his throat tighten. "You always mattered, Soph. So do you. And so does Emma." She reached for his hand. "I came back here because Los Angeles was lonely. I had a great job, a nice apartment, even dated a few guys. But nothing felt right because—" She took a breath. "Because I never stopped thinking about a promise I made by a creek when I was 13. Marcus's heart hammered. "Sophia, I'm not asking you for anything," she said quickly. "I know this is sudden and you have Emma to think about. But I want you to know that seeing you today, meeting your daughter, it feels like coming home finally." They sat in silence, hands intertwined, the night air cool around them. Marcus thought about the years of loneliness, of building his company and raising Emma with an ache in his chest that never quite went away. He thought about first loves and second chances, That game tomorrow, he said slowly. Maybe afterward we could get that ice cream I promised Emma, the three of us. Sophia's smile was radiant. I'd really like that. And maybe, Marcus continued, his own smile growing, we could make it a regular thing. You, me, Emma, see where it goes. One step at a time, one step at a time. Sophia leaned her head on his shoulder, the gesture as natural as breathing. For what it's worth, 13-year-old me had excellent taste. Marcus laughed, the sound surprising him with its lightness. She really did. The next morning Emma scored 2 goals in her soccer game, and Sophia cheered louder than anyone. Afterward, at the ice cream shop, Emma declared that Sophia had to get mint chocolate chip because that's what cool people get. And Sophia solemnly agreed. Watching them together, Emma animated and happy, Sophia patient and warm. Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. Dad, Emma said, chocolate ice cream on her nose. Can Sophia come to my recital next week? I'm playing the piano. If she's free, Marcus said, meeting Sophia's eyes. I'll make sure I'm free, Sophia promised. Over the following months, Sophia became a constant presence in their lives. She helped Emma with her homework, taught her to bake cookies, braided her hair before school. She and Marcus grew closer, their old friendship deepening into something richer, more complex. They went on dates, real dates, with candlelight and hand-holding, but they also spent quiet evenings with Emma, playing board games and watching movies. Emma bloomed. The sadness that had shadowed her eyes began to fade, replaced by confidence and joy. She stopped asking painful questions about her mother and started talking about when Sophia and I did this, or Sophia says I'm good at that. One evening, 6 months after Sophia had walked back into his life, Marcus found her and Emma in the kitchen, making dinner together. They were laughing about something, flour dusting Sophia's cheek, Emma's apron askew. The scene was so domestic, so perfectly right, that Marcus had to pause in the doorway. This was his family. This was home. Hey, he said, walking in. What are we making? It's a surprise, Emma said. But you have to set the table fancy because tonight is special. Oh, why's that? Emma and Sophia exchanged a look. Just because, Emma said mysteriously. After dinner, lasagna. Emma's favorite. Emma excused herself to her room with unusual enthusiasm. Marcus looked at Sophia questioningly. She wanted to give us time to talk, Sophia explained. She's remarkably perceptive, your daughter. Our daughter, Marcus said softly. If you want her to be. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Marcus, I know we've only been doing this for 6 months. He continued, reaching across the table for her hand. But Soph, I've known you my whole life, really. You're the person I measure everyone else against. And watching you with Emma, seeing how much she loves you, how much you love her. I do love her, Sophia said. So much, it scares me sometimes. Then marry me. The words came out in a rush. Marry me and be Emma's mom and let's build this life together. The 3 of us. Sophia was crying now, laughing through her tears. That's not much of a proposal, Marcus Chen. He stood up, pulled her to her feet and got down on one knee. From his pocket he drew out a simple ring. He'd been carrying it for a week. Waiting for the right moment. Sophia Martinez, he said, his voice thick with emotion. 20 years ago you told me you'd marry me when we grew up. I'm calling in that promise. Will you marry me? Yes, she whispered. Yes, yes, yes. They were kissing when Emma burst into the room. Did she say yes? She said yes, right? I can tell she said yes. They broke apart, laughing, and Emma launched herself at them. Marcus caught her, pulling both his girls close. She said yes, Em. Good, Emma declared. Because I already told everyone at school you were going to be my mom soon. And I didn't want to look like a liar. Sophia laughed through her tears. Can't have that. So it's official? Emma asked. We're a real family now? We've been a real family for a while, Marcus said. This just makes it legal. They stood there in the kitchen, the 3 of them wrapped together, and Marcus thought about the boy he'd been, lonely, uncertain, convinced he'd always be alone. That boy could never have imagined this moment. A daughter who filled his heart to bursting, a woman who'd known him at his worst and loved him anyway, a home that was truly home. "I love you both so much," he said. "We love you too, Dad," Emma said. "So much," Sophia added, kissing his cheek. Outside, the sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. Inside, the lights were warm. The air smelled of lasagna and happiness, and a family, new but also somehow ancient, built on a foundation of childhood promises and second chances, began their next chapter together. The creek where two kids had made a promise was miles away, overgrown now and forgotten by most, but the promise itself had survived, patient and enduring, waiting for the right moment to bloom. And bloom it had into something more beautiful than either of them had ever imagined.